Hello everyone and welcome to Excited Nuclei channel. Uh, Last time we have seen the introduction PPT for our new project for beginner C++ level, and that project is also named as a statistical analysis tool using C++. So today we are going to code that. So before coding that, let me switch my screen. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So first, let me show you the demo about how this app is currently uh, working, or you can say how this statistical tool is actually doing. So if I run this, so as you can see, it is asking us the number of elements. So if I type 5 here and then enter, so this is the output of the, you can say, statistical analysis tool. So first it gave us the exact array that we have passed, then it sorts the array. I believe this example is not quite fit for saying how this function is actually, or how this is actually sorting this number. So to see that, let me just quickly run this again. And this time I'm also going to pass 5 number, and let's just randomly type this number, basically scramble these and then print it. So as you can see that 23154 is actually sorted to 12345. And then if you are talking about statistical measure, so as we know, the sum of these numbers is actually equals to 15. So we can also confirm it by manually summing it, like 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, and 10 plus 5 is 15. So yes, 15 is actually satisfied. Then the minimum number is 1 actually, that's right. Then max is 5, that's also right. So the mean of these number is actually 3 also. Sum of all these number, which is 15, divided by the total numbers, which is actually 5 that we have passed here. So that's why it is 3. Median, so median is actually the middlemost number. So as we have 5 numbers here, the middlemost number becomes 3, as it is present in the third position in our array. So range is quite easy to understand. Range is actually quite simply calculated by subtracting max value and mean value, or mean value from max value, and we get the range. Then comes the variance, and then standard deviation. So before coding this so we are going to now code this whole solution again, and this is the master file that I have shown you right now. I will also upload that on the GitHub. So before that, let me quickly make a file, statistical. So this is the file that we are going to work in. So before that, let me quickly show you how these measures are going to be calculated. So as you can see in the PPT, these are actually the notations that is used in the statistics, which is quite common. So xi is actually the symbol for individual data value or data point. So I is actually an iterator, or you can say the index, which is basically represent the ith part of the whole data set. Then there comes the n is the total number of value, and the x bar is actually the mean. So this symbol, which is something like rotated M. I know some of you have already known about that, but don't worry, there might be someone who is not already aware yet. So this is actually the summation symbol, which represents the sum of all the values. And then there is variance. Variance is actually represented by sigma square. And then there is a standard deviation, which is represented by sigma. So next we are going to see the formula or statistical measure. So start with the summation. Summation is actually, you know that. So I will not waste some time about you can say our time here. So let me just quickly tell you what are the things that we are not going to cover in this video. So mode, quartiles, and interquartile range. These are actually not going to be covered in this video actually. So we are going to just cover these sum, mean, sum, average, minimum, maximum, range, median, mean, and also we are going to cover variance and standard deviation. So these are the things that we are going to cover now. Get back to the code, and I hope everything is clear up until now. So now let's just quickly uh, open the VS code and just start typing it. So we will just use IO stream, IO stream model. Then we are going to use CMath, which I have already told in you can say our video, previous video, and also using namespace std. So before going into the main function, let me just quickly write the definitions for all the functions that we are going to use. So before that, let me just mark the comments here. So the definition we are going to use are the first is taking input from user, put, or maybe I should say input data. So this is going to be our input data from our user. So to define this function, you can say the definition, we are going to use void null type, you can say, and then we will call it like take input, and this function is already going to get some thing like double array and also int. So these are the parameters that this function is going to take. So let me quickly tell you what are these parameters and how these are actually going to be you can say used by this function. So before that, let me show you the previous code to explain things, to make things really, you can say, nice and simple. So actually, yeah, so you can see these are the argument that our function take exactly. So I'm just going to copy it for now, and the core functionality will be implemented by me and me only. So don't worry if I just copy paste some things, and I will explain them. Then the next thing is, sorry, Python habit just came up to me. Next is we are going to sort it. Sorry, I just for a second I just make it like sorting the array or in the bracket input data. So this is going to be like this. So this is also going to take the same inputs as in input data. So next, the thing that we are going to do is calculate the sum of the numbers. So don't think that we are going to just simply use inbuilt function. We are actually going to use our own, you can say, hands-on functions that we are going to create. So there is no need to worry. So adding our value. So in the similar way, we are going to just paste everything here. So along with it, please try to see what we are going to use every time. So next is mean calculation, and next is going to be, I think, median, no, minimum and maximum. Minimum value, and it is going to be like this. So I am doing this because to make the video a little short, and this is not like I am cheating or something. It's just that I have tried this on my own, and I will share what are the things that I got stuck on, and where how I use my own thinking to solve that. So maybe this video is going to be a little long. Please bear with me. Maybe I should just copy everything at the same time. So yeah, shift home, copy and escape, and just paste everything here, and then just add the comments. Uh, Calculate here median. Here we are going to calculate variance, and here we are going to calculate standard deviation. So these are the functions that we are going to use actually. So let me just quickly close this terminal. So we have created the outline of this function, and also what, and the best thing is actually int main. That means our main function. How could we forget this this thing? So let me comment it, main code. So let's start with the creating our function. So this is the code body. Now we are going to write actually the code for taking input data. So considering the same functionality of the last code, we are going to do something like we are going to use for loop for initialize this I first and assign it 0 value. Then we are going to check for the condition, and after that we are going to increment I with 1 value. Now here comes the loop body. So in the loop we are going to execute like cout. Okay, and here we are going to enter your uh, this is going to like this. Let's do it like this. 1, and mm, enter number this, and then we are going to like close this loop, and then takes the input in. Let me just double number. So every time we are going to take a number, and let's initialize this inside the loop, because we want a fresh number every time. So this is going to be like this. Initialize this number again, and then enter your this number, and then what we are going to do is quite just simple. See in number, and we are going to assign this number to the array. So I believe this thing up until now is clear. So to validate that, we are also going to return array. So this is how this function is going to work. I don't know why this is going to. So it is saying that the array return type does not match the function. Okay, we don't even need to actually return something. So let me just quickly test this code. So first we are going to initialize the array. So for before that, we are going to ask the user for the array input. Now one thing to make sure of, we can use something like take cout, enter the size of array, the size of array. So this is what I am going to ask from user. Then we are going to take an input, and to take an input we must initialize that input as an n. So the n must be an integer because we can't take input like 2.5 numbers, and that's why the n should be integer. And sorry, yeah, that's all. And yeah, we are also going to initialize this double, I believe, yeah, double, actually double, right? Right, double array and n, and that's all. So what we are now, we are going to take input data, and we are going to pass these into it, array n, and we are just going to execute this statement first. Let's see how things works. So enter the size of array, the same as 5. Now enter number 1, 2. So it is taking us taking the number quite well, and maybe some little, you can say a little of what they say is, let me just quickly see how this output actually run like. So to see what this output looks, that yeah, that. So this is going to be the format for our reference. So why am I again executing this? To actually take the reference, that the functionalities should be like this, and the number of elements. Okay, we are going to see it through the end. So now let me, you can say, again change some code here. Actually enter number, so it is asking for element actually. And then yeah, so that's it. Yeah, that's it. So this is going to be our input data. Let's execute that again. And this time size of array again 5 and 1. So this time it's actually quite similar to the previous one. As you can see, the only difference is this size of array. So we are going to keep it like this because we need some change to actually refer which one is actually executing. So that's all. That's good. We have tested this function and it's working quite fine. Now, one thing we should think is we should return actually the print the input array like this array of numbers. So let me just quickly copy this from here. So this is going to be our you can say input array of number. Now we are going to use for loop here again. Why for loop? Because we want to print every element of this number. So to do that, we are going to just copy this loop again. And paste it exactly like this. But the only change that I'm going to make is I am just going to remove this input block, and also I'm going to modify this block like I only want array number, so I don't need all of this. So we are going to just say array I, and also here we should remove this double number array I, and also there is no name such as ARR, and we are going to put a comma here to print the array, and then we are going to actually do one thing to make it visually appealing. We are going to just put an and, or you can say we can just the endl here. Yeah, sorry. And yeah, I believe this is actually ready. So just the thing that I noticed right now, that there is no separate you can say separation from this input and this printing. So maybe I should put some space here. That's why I put an slash n. And now let's try to run that again. So enter the size of array, that will be 5. Enter element 1, that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's working. Now the next step of our code is to create function sort an array. So let me just quickly reduce the width of this. Let me just close this. So to sorting an array, it is quite simple. So we are again going to use this for loop, and the only difference this time is going to make is we are going to initialize an integer like j. Or maybe we should not use this j or something. Yeah, or maybe j should be like this. So temp, or we can just say 0. So that is going to be our, you can say, the first element. And as we have exhausted our first you can say at entry, we are just going to start from this and take it until the, yeah, that's cool. Now just to remove this whole code block. Now what we are going to what we are going is if we are going to add a conditional statement, and that conditional statement is actually going to check whether j, or maybe I should store this temp is greater than. So if yeah, swap the position, yeah, okay. So if temporary number, which is actually the first element of this array, is going to be greater than array in element. So as you know, array starts from 0 and goes till the n minus 1 and is length here. So we're going to check this condition, and what we are going to do is we are just going to swap this number, interchange, basically going to interchange this number. So to interchange them, we are going to do like tt, we can say, or I should just use double here. Yeah, that's good. So so double t is equal to arr, and then just going to use like something like this, arr 0 is equal to t, and arr 1 I is going to be like, or maybe I should just attempt. I don't know how this, if this is right or wrong, but there is only one way to do that. That is by printing this into, yeah, by doing this. So if I put that here and I just use sort, and then if I print that array, and then if I execute this statement, actually I'm going to see what it does, and the error is going to be, so the 5, then 2 1 4 5 3 1 2 4 5 3. So yeah, our logic fails. So let me just quickly take an overview. So okay, it used two loops actually. So we are, as you can see, I am going to copy and I will explain that. So, yeah, I should just paste it here. So let's see what this function does actually. So this function actually takes does is two loop. So first loop is iterating from 0th element to one element before the, you can say, ending, and the next loop is going to do like take start from 0, then go from like two number before the ending, and then it checks the condition whether the jth element, that means if we are talking about the two number from the start, that means 0 and 1 index position, so it is going to check like if index 0 is greater than index 1, then do what, assign a temporary variable and switch the position for like 0 and 1. That means now array 1 become array at index, element at index 1 become element at index 0, and the 1 is going to be this temp. So this is how it is going to work. Now to ensure the integrity of the code, we're just going to execute that. and I think, or yeah, so 2, 3, 1, 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 1, 5, 4 actually. So it is just a mess that is that has created. Sorry, let me just create this output. Okay, now I think everything is just fine. Cool. So I will explain this situation here, why we are doing this and this. Actually, this is going to take like if we are at number. So how it is working? It is actually a bubble sort algorithm. So it is acting like if we have a number like 2, 1, 3, 5, 4. So what it does, it takes 2 and 1 checks if 2, 2 is then 1, and then take an action. Is it going to replace the position of 2, which is array of 0, array of 1 positions, and continues. So that's how this algorithm is working actually. So I believe this sorter is quite clear to all. So yeah, I forgot the logic actually while working because uh, because I was working on this code right now and just started on this actually without so let me skip that. And next is going to be our do the sum. So we are going to use for loop here. So for the same thing, initialize I, then I less than n, then increment in I. Then we are going to do something like ARR I sum plus equal to this, and after the loop we are going to return sum, and forgot to initialize this, and this is how this, you can say, the sum is going to be. So we have actually sorted the error, sorry, array. Now let me just initialize the number that we have to print at the end. So to do that, I'm going to just use this thing from here to avoid. Yeah. So now, so these are the variables that we are going to assign one by one and printing the same output as the previous one. So to do that, let me just quickly copy it from here because we are now working, we are going to start working on this statistical output. So as you can see, we have created this now about the sum. So the sum is going to be like this. Calculate sum and then array and n. pause this statement and try to run this. So we got an error, and the error, yeah, where the error is actually in C35. It's in 36. Oh, sorry, we forgot to put the semicolon actually and put it in the next line. Sorry, my fault. Now we are going to enter the size of our array. 2, 1, 5, 4, 3. 2, 1, 5, 4, 3. It is going to be sorted like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the first statistics is actually printed, which is 15. So why I'm doing copy and pasting? Because the time limit is already 36 minutes. So the next thing we are going to do is like quickly do everything. So about the mean, that is quite simple. We are just going to call this function calculate sum here and just going to return calculate sum array comma n, and then we are just going to divide it by n, and that should give us the mean value. And the same thing as before, we are just going to assign a variable for that, which is mean, and calculate mean, present the same thing, array and n, and printing the output. And this time it is going to be mean, and now let me execute that. So I believe the sorting is actually clear right now. So I will just going to put the number in the line wise. So and also I'm going to do like put some decimal number. And as you can see, we have put some wrong output, and the application behaves wrongly, which is to be expected. And now let me just enter the size of array again, which is going to be 5, 1.2, 3.1, 3.1, 3.4, 23. So as you can see, our output is sorted, and we got the answer, which is 64.5 for the sum and 12.9 as a mean. Now let me just move on to the next calculation, which is minimum value. And again, it's quite, you can say, easy. Same for loop. So maybe I should just copy that from somewhere here. So, but now this time we are going to assign a you can say variable, which is going to be like this: double min, and also as we are looking through the number, so the first we are going to assign it as array of zero index. So actually, the last time I was mixing the concept of the mean at the sum. Actually, sorry, the sorting and the, you can see the minimum value. So this time I'm not going to do the mistakes. So but also learning that it is confusing. If minimum is actually greater than what? Greater than array So the next one, then do one thing, assign the minimum as array I, or I should just remove one from this, and at last I'm going to return this minimum value. I believe, oh sorry, I put the semicolons, which actually habit from using Python. So that's all for the, you can say, the minimum value. Now we have written the minimum value. We are just going to come here, again assign the variable, find the minimum, then again array, and also we are going to print this time I'm going to just this is our minimum value. This is what minimum is going to be like. I hope everything works fine. Finger crossed, and run it. And the code actually, I don't know how this compiler actually thinks. Element 1 enter 2 enter 3 enter 4 enter 5. So we get our minimum, and everything is just fine up until now. Clearing this output. So in the similar way, we are going to find the maximum value, the same code, but the condition just reverse. How the condition reverse is actually quite simple. First, we are going to do like this. And if the max is less than, and we are going to return this, and again and also that's the size of array is again going to be 5. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. So as you can see, we get our maximum value. So the next thing we have to do is like calculate median, which is quite tricky. Tricky in the sense like we have to first check for the condition like n equal to n modulus 2 equal to 0. That means if n divided by 2 and returns nothing but 0, then do one thing, but just you can say ch, we are going to complete this code again, else just do one thing, find index idx is going to be n divided by, sorry, and also we are going to typecast this into a int. So that means, let's say if our if I put the comment here, oh, sorry, if I put the comment here, that means if n is equal to 5, then n, not divide actually, n divided by 2 int of actually going to return, what it should be going to return is actually 2, and if it is going to return 2, that's going to be our mid value because index start from 0. And the one thing to take care is that we have to first initialize this index. Now that's the easiest part, you can say. And if our number is like if even, then we have to take two values from the mid, which is index 1, let's say index 2, and we are also going to put that here, index 1, index 1 is going to be the same as this, and the 2 is just going to be the sum of here plus 1. And about returning the condition, if our n is even, we are going to return something like array ldx1 plus array idx2, and the whole thing divided by 2. So this is going to be our you can say output if n is even number, and n, if n is odd, then we are just going to return this index. So I believe this is going, this is right, and we are going to put median. So if I do something like put alt and down key, it's going to mean median, and the median here is actually going to be like array So I believe the code is working just fine. So 5, then 1. So it's working with the order number just fine. Now we're checking for the even numbers. Let's say 4. Okay, the median is 5, and the, so it doesn't divide actually. I don't know why it is giving this. Let me just go to the even. First we take the index 1 and the index 2. I find the index 1 and 2 from this number. and add them and then divide by 2. So that should not be creating the problem actually. I don't know. So if you put like 4 here and 1 enter 2 enter 3 enter 4, it still not working quite well. And why is that? The median should be like 3 plus 2 and divided by 2. Why is it giving us 5? Let's just think about that. Array of index 1, index 2. Let's take an help. A little help is not going to do some harm. So mid is this, mid minus 1. Okay, that's the problem we are facing. Actually, we forgot the indexing, how the indexing work. Actually, rather adding 1 to it, we just have to subtract 1 from it. This should do. So the size of array should be 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And why it is still printing 5? Median. Oh, so we are still finding the mean actually. The median actually, we have to find the median. It's a typo. And I believe that should not happen in the near future. Okay, so now it's working. The median is also finished. Next, our target is going to be, what should we do next? Okay, now the fun part, variance. And then we have got our hands on standard deviation. So first, let me complete the standard deviation because it is just a simple one. So we can just return variance and then sqrt. So that is just what standard deviation is. And if we are talking about variance, it's quite something. So we have to do like something like div or double division. And one more thing that need to keep in mind, we are going to use for loop. Yeah, everything is going to be like for loop and that. So please just bear with me for a while. Then increment. So what actually standard deviation is, what actually variance is actually quite simple. That is sum of differences of every element with mean. That means mean minus element ith element divided by n, or you can say the sum of I all elements, sum of like all diffs and then divided by n. So this is what variance is. So to achieve that, first we have to loop over every element. So before that, maybe we should store the number like mean here and assign the mean we are going to actually calculate mean and store it into a variable to make things simple for us. And now we are just going to do like diff initialize this diff actually. So this is diff is going to be like double. How this diff is going to be going on. So maybe we should maybe we don't need to use this. We can just plus equal to mean, which is uh, minus sorry mean minus the element. So element is like array I, and after like doing this all, we are just going to return what we are going to return is div divided by n. And there is also one thing that we forgot to do, and that is taking the power, or maybe if I can just, I think I need to initialize this as the situation demands. So diff multiply by diff. So what it is going to do, it's actually going to do is just create a normal double diff, and that diff is going to be like this. Sum of square of this is how actually it's going on. We have written this like variance. So this variance is actually just simple. Shift alt down, down, and this time we have actually calculated both together. So we are going to do variance is equal to calculate variance, and we are just going to pass this arguments like array n comma mean. So I believe there is something that I need to change, and that is I just don't have to calculate this mean at all, because it was already in the function definition. I forgot to write, and then there is std dv, which is standard deviation. Calculate, and it is only going to take variance. Our work is done actually. So this is going to be like standard deviation, right? Sorry, variance, and this is going to be like deviation. I don't know what this error is. Oh, right, I got this error. Variance. Standard deviation. The semicolons are in the way. So we have completed this code actually. So let's just run this, and hopefully it's going to run just fine. So array of 5 and 2, 3, 5, 4. So when we run this, and we get our output as we desired. So To see what we desired and what we get, let's just see the output of the previous one. Okay, so that is uh, actually what happens. I believe it is executed every time. I just don't know why. So maybe that is actually open, that's why. So ignoring that, let's just see. So the output should be like first min max sum, then mean, then max, then mean, median, range. Okay. So to change this according to our will, we just have to just work around with this with the statement actually, which can be done. Lastly, and also median and the range too, right? The range where the range should be. Let me just see mean, median, and then range. And the range is actually quite simple. We just going to be range, and the range is nothing but difference of maximum and minimum. So I believe this time we have completed our code. To do that, 1 enter 2 enter 3 enter 4 enter 5. So good. We have actually created this code from the scratch and implemented all the logics. That's all about the statistical analysis tool. So for the future work, maybe we are going to just uh, going to implement what are leftover functions like these quartiles and interquartile range. And also next time maybe we can do some additional feature after learning some more about the file input output and everything. We're just going to implement that and return some statistical report, and then maybe some advanced visualization we can add that too. So that's all for the, you can say, code, and this project is wrapped up from my side. If you have any doubt, please put that into the comment, and I will do my best to quench that as fast as possible. So thank you.